Alright, so we're going to be going on a somewhat long full self-drive beta test. Alright, we don't have the update again, so still waiting on that. Excuse me. Alright, as far as pulling out of the parking lot and stuff, I do all of that manually because you can see it's not showing the thing to put it into full self-driving mode, and also because it has some issues sometimes. So yeah, so right now it's saying I can put it into full self-drive mode. Let's see. It's somewhat close to these cars, but it's okay. All right, and actually it's doing okay here. Why is it stopping? Okay, it's probably going to take these speed bumps somewhat hard. Yeah, it took those somewhat hard. I would have went slower, but okay. So it's stopping pretty far back, and it should have stopped there. I disengaged it too late, but it should have stopped there. It stopped pretty far back. I don't think it could have seen the cross traffic there. So yeah, it should have like stopped there, and it should stay here.
In 500 feet, turn right onto Crow Canyon Road.
There's a car going over there that was going in and blocking the other counter traffic. Okay, so here you can see right now it's making quite a few mistakes, so I have to keep stopping it. There's a yield here. Okay, and the car is going, so it hit the brakes, but it didn't need to because we have our own lane. We have our own lane, so it shouldn't have stopped there. But yeah, so I pushed the pedal to make it go. It's going somewhat fast here, even with a red light. I would have personally slowed down way earlier, so I probably should have pulled it out of the full self-drive. So right now I'm like, this thing, I don't know, I haven't driven it in this area a lot. So, or actually at all. This is the first time driving it in this area. You can see, okay, we're gonna exit soon. So let's see what happens. It's taking it somewhat quick here. I don't know why it's moving over to this. Actually, it might have to. Okay, I think it was the second exit. So slow down, buddy. Slow down. Problem with this is it only gives you like a few seconds out of the full self-drive thing where it doesn't affect your score. So I'd have to like slam the brakes to make it not affect my score. Otherwise, if I gradually hit the brakes, it's gonna say I'm doing like hard braking. And this guy's here, you can see it was sliding over a little bit. Okay, we should actually stay in this lane. No. Okay, I'm pretty sure we're supposed to stay in this lane, so. Alright. I mean, we could merge over there and then merge back over, but I'm pretty sure we're supposed to be in this, or is this right only? It says only. No, this one lets you go straight. What are they talking about?
Interstate 680 southbound
Okay.
on the right towards San Jose.
Yeah, so here you can see this is beta software. It does make a lot of mistakes. You want to pay attention. This is, we're training the system when we're on beta. We're actually training the system. This isn't so much to let it drive itself. If the streets are and stuff aren't very confusing, like it's very straightforward, going in a straight line, or a very well marked out turns, then it has no problem. But if it's a little tricky, then you'll definitely want to watch it. Okay, so it's doing all this on its own, and once it enters the freeway or interstate or whatever you want to call it, highway, then it should be doing just fine. So getting on the freeway now. Okay, and it's signaling to turn left. Do it. Yeah. see we have 27 miles to go, 34-minute drive. You can tell that it's out of beta because it's no longer showing all the red and yellow and all those different colored lines. It's all just gray right now. That's how you know it's not in the beta mode anymore. And the reason why they show all those colors and stuff is so you know what the car's seeing. Like if it's red, it usually sees that as like a wall or something you can't cross. And yeah, it'll show like the yellow lines and stuff. So usually that's like a painted barrier. Sometimes there can be an actual barrier. Okay, I would move over, but I guess too late. Now it's hitting the brakes somewhat hard. Okay, it doesn't need to slow down to let that car in, so I push the pedal to speed it up. It likes to like slow down and let all the cars in. So yeah. The full self-driving system actually uses up your brakes a lot because it's not too great at predicting to prevent itself from using the brakes. They need to add like keep a larger following distance, and it needs to predict when it's gonna have to slow down in advance, like when there's a red light in front and cars in front of the car. It should know to slow down earlier, not wait till it's like about to run out of time. So yeah, I mean it doesn't slam the brake completely down, but it does push it quite a bit. And when I drive the car, I almost never use the brakes unless someone like merges in front and hits their brakes pretty hard, or if the light changes before I'm expecting it to and I'm going too fast, stuff like that. But normally in like more than 90% of the driving, shouldn't really have to use the brake pedal. I mean, not 90% of the driving, 90% of the slowing down or stopping. So yeah, because obviously when you're driving like this, you shouldn't need to use the brake pedal. Okay. And I just have my hand at the bottom of the steering wheel, kind of holding onto it with my thumb and index finger, pulling on it a little bit. If it asks me, then like this, I just pull on it a little more. But yeah, if you actually like hold it here and kind of rest your hand on it so that the weight of your hand is pulling down, then it actually won't really ask you to apply pressure because you're already doing it the entire time. So yeah. It's changing to this lane to continue route because it could just stay in the right lane, like the one that it was in earlier. I don't think that lane ends or merges or anything, so it would have been fine. Now that I'm in this lane, I have to go faster because this is the faster lane, so I'm going to set the speed limit max to 75 now and let it do its thing. gonna signal over to the left for it. And everyone's slowing down up ahead, so we should actually be slowing down. I'm gonna slow it down earlier because I want it to gradually come to a slow, not wait till it's close to the cars. Okay. So as you can see, like the way I gradually slowed down, I can actually keep going like more of a constant speed instead of reaching the spot and then slowing down like a lot. So there's no point like getting to the back of another car really fast. Like it's not gonna get you where you're trying to go any faster. So it's always good to slow down early. You save wear on your brakes. You reduce the wasted energy through the regen braking. Regen braking isn't 100% efficient. I mean, anyone that knows how things work, how electricity and stuff works, would kind of know that you can't 100% efficiently pull energy back in. So so it's better to, if you don't have to, don't use the brakes. So basically it's kind of like the more you can coast to a slow down or stop, the better. Okay, I don't know why there's a whole bunch of traffic here now. I'm gonna let the car drive itself. And that's another reason why you leave big gaps, so that if the car slows down in front or slams their brake or something is in the road, you have time to react. Of course, if something comes flying at you, you can't react to everything, but the more space you leave, the more time you have. And yeah, you never know. Sometimes someone can run over something and it can shoot up at your car. And the more you can slow down while it's flying at you, the more you can reduce the risk of damage, or reduce the damage even if it hits your car. Doing a good job of slowing down. Somehow tilt the mirror in a way that you guys can see the rear view. I mean, I could also like turn this on and then you can kind of see. Actually, this might be better. Then you can see all around the car, and you can see where the car thinks it needs to go or what lanes it's in. I think this is pretty straightforward because it's just going on the same freeway, highway, interstate, whatever, the entire time until the exit. So there's no extra turns or exits. So I'll just let it go like this, and you guys can see what the cameras see. There's actually more cameras on the car than what shows here. This is just for, I don't know, for the people to see. But there are additional cameras on the car that I don't know why they don't let you see all the footage surround. But there's quite a few more. Like, obviously it doesn't show the front camera because you can see out the front window, but sometimes I'd like to see what the car is actually seeing there, so, or what's in the cameras. Especially when sometimes it'll complain, like it'll say there's something obstructing the view of the camera, and then it starts windshield wiping it. I'd really like to see what the camera is seeing and why it decides it needs to wipe the windshields when there's nothing there. Usually it's just the sun is on it. I like to see what it looks like so I can see how bad it is from the sunlight. Like how blocked is the vision. When you're sitting back here and stuff hits the windshield, it's not, I mean, it doesn't block your view, but if your face, like your eye is right at the glass and something goes splat like right where your eye is, it's really going to take out a lot of your vision. So I'm really curious to see what the front camera vision is. There's multiple I believe there's multiple cameras and sensors up there, not just one. So yeah, it'd be nice to be able to see what exactly the car sees. Right, I think these are the lower cameras that are kind of on the front side in those, like, they used to be chrome, now they made them black, but those side cameras. And then there's the ones in the pillars that they don't, like, you can't see, but the pillar ones, they point forwards, not backwards. So I'm kind of curious, like, what it shows in terms of like blind spot and coverage and things like that. If it allows you to see your front tires, that would be actually really nice. Because then a lot of people curb their wheels because they can't see the curb driving forward. And also when parking forward, people have a hard time judging how much distance. So if it does show like the front of the car, that'd actually be very useful. Whoa. What the heck? This guy's driving like a crazy. Okay, I don't know if you saw that. I'm gonna actually save that clip. Hopefully it shows up. That guy's driving crazy. If I hit the brakes a little bit, he would have smashed into me. So I guess since I have this camera up, you can probably see it. The front camera thing, oh, that reminds me. In here, you can actually see the front camera thing. So maybe next time it says it detects some blind spot thingy, I'm gonna press this and see what it shows in the front camera. But I think it only shows one of the cameras. It doesn't show like the whole thing. So, oh, there was an accident right here. Looks like a Tesla. What happened here? Are they just speeding? Oh, the car behind had their hood like damaged. People driving crazy here. I don't think people realize that all this lane switching and zigzagging through everything actually just makes traffic worse. If everyone stayed in like a straight line, it would be a lot more efficient and a lot faster. And if you don't follow too close so that people can actually merge in easier, traffic would be a lot better. But when people drive, they're too into this, thinking that I need to get to where I'm going before everyone else. Like, all right, for most people, nothing you're doing is that urgent. Like, you can wait a few minutes, you can be late a few minutes. It's pretty rare that you're like, this is life and death, I need to get to here right away. I mean, if it was, then you'd be in an ambulance, right? I don't know. Yeah. And then there's also the ones where there's an exit coming and people will wait in the outer lanes till the last second and merge in. That's a great way to block the entire road, because then nobody can go around. Like, everyone will be extended out trying to wait till the last second to go in. And I don't know why people drive like that, because when you're waiting in line at a store or for a roller coaster or whatever, you don't like keep cutting in like in front of everybody, right? You wait in line because you got there at that time. So if people drove like that, traffic would be a lot better. Like, the moment you know you need to exit, go over to that lane, wait in that lane. Like, chances are all those other people are waiting to exit there too. That's why it's stopped. So if people drove like that, there'd be a lot less traffic, because the only lane that would be stopped is the lane that people are waiting to exit, instead of blocking all the rows of traffic because you want to get in front of everybody else that's waiting. So I don't know why people drive like that. Like, when they drive, it's people drive selfishly. They don't really think about others, and that's why there's like all that road rage and whatnot. Yeah. Like, if someone is truly like going way too slow and you see like a ginormous gap in front of them, then I understand, like, go around, get in front of them, and then just stick in that lane. But if it's like this, where everybody's stuck in a traffic, like just zigzagging all over the place, doesn't really help. It makes the traffic worse, and it saves you, like, I don't know, at most a minute or two. Sometimes it doesn't even save you time. Like, you'll be merging all over the place, and then the lane you merge to starts going slower. So yeah, there's really no point. Also, it increases the chance of accidents, so there's not really much benefit to doing that, unless you just have fun doing that. But so good. thing with this is I can't see the ETA, how long it will take. But this says about 11 miles until the exit, and the exit is pretty close to where I live, so that's probably about 13 minutes to go because there's traffic. 13 to 15 minutes probably. Oh, I should turn this on. It's pretty hot now. Auto. It's probably gonna pull the air from outside because it's 69 degrees outside. Yeah, it is. So the car's doing all the driving on its own. So I don't know why I feel like it's in other states they have signs that help with the traffic thing that say keep right except to pass, which is actually a very good like rule of the road. If you stay in the right lane unless you're like passing, like you leave a lane on the left for people to just go in front and then merge in, that would also greatly reduce traffic. But again, when people pile up at an exit, like trying to wait to go in, then every single lane people will be like trying to pass and merging last second, and then that's how you end up with this kind of like locked up traffic. So usually you want to keep at least one lane to the left empty except for passing, and that's best for traffic. Okay, so the car was slowing down on its own, I guess because people are merging on the right, and then it's merging back over on the left, and it wanted to make sure like not to be in the way. Times I was driving in the hills or mountains with the windy roads, and there's only one lane, and they would have signs that say slower traffic must use the turnout. So basically, if cars are behind you wanting to go faster, you're supposed to pull over into a shoulder and then let them go, and then just go back in behind them. And a lot of people I don't know if they don't understand the sign, or if they're just like, everybody should go the speed I'm going. I don't know if that's what's going on or what they're thinking, or I don't know. But yeah, drivers like that cause a lot of traffic and problems. So and then if you're wondering why trucks like to stay in the middle lane, it's because they're not always exiting. Usually trucks will drive for long periods of times on the same freeway or highway, interstate, whatever. So it's actually better for trucks to use the middle lane so they don't have to keep merging all over the place or waiting behind every single exit. And then the left lane would be basically used for going around those trucks. So the best road system would basically just be 3. You would only need 3 lanes. One's for exiting. The middle one is for cruising, coasting, and then the left one is for passing. But the problem is you can't really get people to follow those rules, right? So people to follow those rules, then it's always going to go inefficient. So that's one thing. If they can get like the full self-driving stuff all worked out and kind of get everyone to go in full self-driving cars, they can actually really, really greatly improve traffic just from that alone. And also when you leave gaps and kind of don't follow next to other cars, it's a lot safer, because if a car like drifts over into your lane, there's no way they'll hit you if you're staggered. If you're next to them, then you'll obviously get in an accident. So when I'm in traffic and stuff, I try and keep space, keep staggered if possible. So you can see this exit on the right is almost always super busy. So everyone exiting should basically just pull in that exit now. But you'll probably see here, like, people will wait till the last second and then like merge over because they don't want to wait behind everyone else that's waiting. Like, but I don't know, I feel that's messed up. It's basically you're cutting in line. Let's see. Actually, right now I think they're okay because it's not as much traffic. But we'll see. Okay, yeah. Right now they did okay. Most of the time I'll see like cars waiting last second and merge, and sometimes they'll even merge over this solid white line area, or even this that painted with the kind of arrows or whatever, and then they'll just like cut in there. Look at all those cars. So much traffic down there. So as you can see, since no one was like waiting to cut in, the traffic didn't slow down here. But a lot of times people will be waiting to cut in, and then the whole right lane here would be seized up because people are like blocking the whole lane trying to get in. But this time we didn't have that issue. And sometimes it'll extend out like 2 or 3 lanes because people are trying to merge over multiple lanes. Tired. Didn't get much sleep. I think I slept maybe 4 hours. That's about my usual, anywhere from 4 to 5 hours. But I need to kind of get caught up and get some more sleep. From when I went on my trip. I haven't caught up with those 2 days of sleep that I didn't get. And then I think I stayed up working on something, so 3 days of no sleep that I'm still lacking behind. Though I don't think you can reclaim your sleep from not, like, if you haven't slept for 24 hours, I don't think sleeping extra the next day will will give that back. Okay. Getting there. You can see it wants to merge over to the right. Okay. Slow down. So good. The lane disappeared and it started drifting over to the right, following the wall, and then the line came back and it moved back over. Okay, it should be going to the right. There you go. Should just signal and go over like right away, but there you go. And now it's speeding up. Usually you don't want to pass on the right next to like trucks like this because they kind of don't see you, so I kind of have to be ready to, yeah. It was drifting a little bit into my lane, so I kind of sped up and moved a little to the right.
Now take exit 9 on the right. In 1,000 feet.
Okay, like this exit, it's taking it too fast, so I turned off the autopilot. Like, it doesn't need to take this at 65 miles an hour, so I'm gradually letting it come to a stop. Like, I'm still slightly holding the pedal. The car seems to like to let go completely, or wait until it's like the only way it can stop is if it lets go completely. But anyways, let's see if it can do this again. It always fails at this spot, so I'm gonna.
Now turn right onto North
Nope.
Hillview
See,
Drive.
it, like why did it go back over? It should stay in this lane. I forgot. I pulled it out of full self-driving, but I didn't pull it out of what do you call the cruise control? Traffic aware cruise control. Like, if you just turn the wheel, it'll still keep the traffic aware cruise control, and it will keep going the speed limit, so unless there's something in front. So I have to push the brake pedal to completely turn it off. Okay, let's let it go again. Yeah, so you can see how many times I have to kind of stop it or pull it out of full self-driving autopilot. And here we are. So that's pretty much it. I would slow down way more because our stop is here. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Oh, it looks like I have a customer here, but they didn't let me know before heading over, so good thing I head straight home. I don't know why they do that. I always tell them to call or text before heading over, but they just head over assuming I'm here 24/7. But all right, anyways, that's it. I'll see you all in the next one. All right, bye.